The fact that people have a better life than you doesn't make them perfect or less human than you.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Having different mindsets of people is okay. It's not that bad of a thing, because people are obviously different in life and things can change over time. It's just that as a human being, do I accept reality as is? And I have to say yes, and because it can only go so far before you start questioning your own reality and your own existence. And it's just, do I exist, or do people around me make me exist? Is it my friends that I talk to every day, or is it just the people that I want to talk to every day? I don't know, I think about things when I sit in this chair and just talk to myself. My thoughts, and I just think about things. And I just try to live my life, as everyone does. They just try to get by with what they can, or do even better than that. But you can only go so far forward before you start getting lonely. Before you need friends. Before you need someone to talk to you. Just to say hi. Not even have a conversation, just to say hi and say you exist. You make my life a little bit less shittier than what it already was. It's just sad. What do you think about it that way? That you're a human being. You exist in your mind. But do you exist for other people? Do you have an impact on other people? Is what you're doing really a relative sort of point? Is there a point to your existence? And everyone, obviously, that you know, personally will say yes. But does that really mean anything to someone like Coda, who just sat there, pumped out games, and then that was it? Just talking to himself. Oh god. No! No, I want to play with the thing! Aww. And there's the lamppost again. And we're back to the prison thing. Okay. Oh.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Alright, we're now in 2010. Now in June. Okay guys, just for you, I'm going to edit the video. I'm going to completely cut any video you may see, so I'm going to keep my eyes closed. You guys, I'm going to cut the video out. I'll see it when I edit the video. I'm not going to see it now, but I'm going to go completely eyes closed. Alright, here we go. I can't see anything.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Oh, we're back here again. Oh. Okay. Oh, there's a door here. God. Okay. Now that I know there's a door there. Alright, here we go. 5 months and he still hasn't put in proper heads.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
This game, it's like I could see little inklings of it. Oh, hello. I'm just really sad this entire game.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore.
I hit 3.
What is it for?
I hit 3, not... What? Okay.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Alright.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash. Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Oh my god, okay.
And of course, it's the machine.
Okay. I can't believe I'm actually talking to a machine. I'm just sitting here just pressing keys on my keyboard, but still. Oh, I have a gun. Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay, this is a bit strange.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Oh,
And so, as I'm
screw this
thinking
room.
I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
I kind of like this room though. Oh well.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
I just... Oh, I can't move.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.